Hey guys, welcome to my second C# tutorial. In this tutorial we're just going to be going over how to get input and output onto a simple console application in C#. If you don't know what that means, don't worry, because I'm going to explain it in this video. However, if you don't have Visual C# 2010 installed, probably be better off going and looking at my first tutorial where I show you guys how to install that, and I give a little bit of an introduction to the C# language. If you do have it installed though, just open up the C# IDE. Let's make a new project. And we're going to be making a console application, so go ahead and click on that. You can name it something if you want, but I'm not going to bother naming it. And then I'm just going to click OK to create it. Now we've got our basic outline, you could say. So now, in our main function, we can start writing some code. So to start off with, our main function, this is just the syntax for it. Luckily you don't have to memorize it because it's already in every single program. And what it does is, it tells you, well, it tells the computer that from here, execute everything in between these curly braces. And if you don't get what I mean, once you start making more programs and you start doing stuff with functions, you're going to have hundreds of functions on top of the main function. And you don't want it to go through every single function in that order, and you might be calling the functions from inside the main function. So basically, the program just starts at the main function. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, it's not going to matter too much, because I'll probably explain that stuff when we start looking at functions. But for now, this will probably do. So firstly, just note the color of that text, and look at the word before that. It's a class. So remember that text of that color is means that that's the name of a class, unless you've changed the color settings. And on that note, I'll show you guys how to write the C# syntax for outputting text on the screen. Now, if you've done Python, you know it's just print. With PHP, it's just echo. Well, C#'s got this thing: system.console.writeLine. So what the hell does all that mean? Well, firstly, system is a namespace. If you mouse over that, you'll see namespace system. Console is a class system.console. Also, console is the same color as that, which is another class. And writeLine is a function. It doesn't say that, but it's inside a class. It's got the whole void thing, and well, you can just remember it's a function. So you notice up here we are using system. That basically means we have all the classes and all the functions in the system namespace. So if you're doing that, you can just ignore that line. And if you're writing like a few thousand things to the screen, that can save you a lot of time. So this is basically the syntax for it. Now notice how I've put these empty parentheses on the end of writeLine. That's just another indicator to show you it's a function. And inside those parentheses go parameters for the function. After that, we've got the semicolon. That's used to end pretty much every single line in C# code. So, just an overview: console, the class, and the namespace system. WriteLine is the function name, and the empty parentheses, which will take the parameters later on, and the dots just to connect them pretty much, and the semicolon ending the line. So what can you put inside this? Well, you can put a string of text for the console to write, and that's basically, you just put the stuff you want to write to the thing inside double or single quotes. I tend to use double quotes. Let's just write hello world. Pretty simple, isn't it? Well, if we were going to go to run this, up on the top you'll see a little thing, a little menu, debug, and on that you can just click start debugging, or you can press F5. Just click start debugging, and the application runs and it exits immediately after it's finished, which can be really annoying, can't it? So how are we going to stop it from doing that? Well, we could ask it to wait for some input from the user before it exits, and that's where input comes in. Now, for input, you're going to use the same console, which is in system namespace, and dot read line bracket, and that takes no parameters. So that's basically it. Now, just one thing, I mentioned this in the first tutorial about how C# supports something called IntelliSense. Now, if I press the dot, it automatically gives me a big list of everything that could go after console. So, for example, if I wanted to change the background color of console, I'd be using that. If I wanted to change the height or width, or caps lock, or whatever. So that's just, it's basically got everything that you could put after console, and so it saves you a bunch of time having to type the whole thing. So for now we'll just stick with read line, and let's see what this does. I'm just going to press F5 to run it. Oh, we've got our hello world up now, and notice it didn't exit straight away because it's waiting for us to enter something or type something and then press enter, and then it's going to exit. Now it doesn't actually care what we write. All that it cares is that we write something, or in fact you don't even have to write anything, you just have to press the enter key. But that doesn't end the program. I mean, we could have another write line thing here. We can make it write, the program is still not over. The program is still not over. Of course, it's going to exit straight after it does that, so we just type that in so it can wait for us to press the enter before it exits. Now we've got hello world up. Press enter, the program is still not over. You press enter, and then it exits. So that's your little introduction to input and output in C#. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next tutorial where I'll hopefully be going over some interesting things about variables. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed.